How's it going, U.S. history students? Today in this video, I want to talk about the KBRA and opinions in different groups on removing the dams on the Klamath, okay? So we're going to look at like sports fishermen, the Yurok tribe, and how they feel about removing the dams on the Klamath. Now, our essential question is, how do opinions compare on the removal of dams on the Klamath, like I said? So for each of these opinions, I want you guys to summarize the opinion in one sentence for each group, okay? So we're going to start off with the Yurok tribe's position. So in Canvas, in the little text space, I want you to type a one-sentence summary of what the Yurok's position is on dam removal, okay? So let's start off with our Yurok tribe. How do they feel about it? They support removal of all of the dams, okay? And the reason for that is the Klamath has been their food source for more than 8,000 years. They have fished salmon from the Klamath for that amount of time, and it's been historically their food source, right? And salmon is still a major income for the tribe, okay? The tribe still fishes. They have 50% fishing rights, so they can fish up to 50% of the salmon and sell that and eat it, right? It's just their food source still today. So it's very, very important to them, and they want a healthy river. They want more fish. They want to improve their own economy, which makes total sense from their position, okay? So the Yurok support dam removal. Now, the Upper Klamath Basin farmers and ranchers. Obviously, the reason for a lot of the dams is to allow farmers at like the top of the Klamath to have enough water to water their crops, okay? Currently, there's about 1,400 farmers up there that use that water to grow things like potatoes and alfalfa and, different food crops, okay? Now, they've had these farms since 1902. Okay, this land was granted to these farmers' great grandfathers for serving in World War One. Later, it'll be World War II vets as well who get some of this land. So they've been farming here for generations. Okay. They say that if you remove the dams, we won't be able to grow food. We won't have the cheap electricity that those dams produce. So it's going to hurt us as farmers who've been farming here for generations. And it's also going to hurt the California economy because we won't be able to grow as much food. Okay, so that's their position. They're opposed to removing these dams. Now, environmental groups, okay? These guys support removal, right? All they care about is getting nature as healthy as possible. And these dams, unfortunately, hurt nature quite a bit. The biggest impact is on the salmon, okay? The salmon runs before the dam was up to almost 3 million salmon running up the river every year. Okay, they used to have a saying that you could walk across the Klamath with how many salmon are running. Okay, it's down to 3.8% of that number. So the salmon are almost non-existent now, which is very sad. On top of that, there used to be two really big lakes that are now farmland in the upper basin of the Klamath, and 75% of migratory birds in North America used to pass through those lakes. So now those birds have to choose another spot to stop or keep flying, okay? So it's hurting the birds, it's hurting the fish. And these groups, these environmental groups say, get rid of the dams and let nature go back to what it was, okay? Now, non-native commercial and sport fishermen, okay, how do they feel about the dams? Kind of obviously, they support removing the dams, right? Less dams equals more fish. And so if you are a commercial fisherman and you want to sell fish for a profit, you support removing those dams. Now, the Klamath used to be, before the dams were put up, they used to be home to dozens of these canneries. Here's a picture of one from the 1900s. But they used to be home to these canneries that brought a ton of money to the tribe. It brought a ton of money to Crescent City and Del Norte in general. So the commercial fishermen support removal so that we can get these canneries back and we can start harvesting salmon and selling it again. Okay. Now, sport fishermen, guys who fish just to catch fish and eat them on their own, not to sell it. Um, Sport fishermen's has gone down since the 1920s by quite a bit because the salmon is decreasing. The Klamath is not as attractive to fishermen as it once was because the fish are just not there anymore. Okay. So if we get those dams removed, more sport fishermen will come. They'll spend their money in Klamath, and it'll help the economy there. Okay, so no dams, more fish, more money. Okay, that's their position. Now, what are the results? Okay, KBRA was never approved. It died in Congress, but we do have the Klamath Hydraulic Settlement Agreement, the KHSA. That bad boy was signed 4 years ago, and they plan on removing 4 of those hydroelectric dams by 2020. Okay, and that still has not happened, but it is planned to happen. It's supposed to be done by this year, but but we'll see. Okay, so that's kind of the result of all this stuff is that they're going to remove the hydroelectric dams, but leave the dams for irrigation for those farmers. It's a compromise. Okay, so hopefully you have the opinions. You can summarize those in one sentence on Canvas. Hopefully we answered this essential question here. I hope you guys have a good day. I will see you in the next video.